Hey guys, it's D. So a lot of you guys have been hitting me up asking me to give my thoughts on Goku talking about surpassing his limitations, which is a line that he said near the end of the episode where he fought Toppo a few weeks ago. Now, I caught the Dragon Ball train very early in my life. I've been watching this series since the mid 90s. I watched it before it was even on Toonami. So a lot of you guys, I know you guys often want to hear my opinion on things like this because of my lifelong love affair with Dragon Ball. And of course, a vast majority of you guys are probably very similar to me in that you grew up with the show, you've watched it a bunch of times, maybe in multiple languages, maybe you read the manga. And if you have not done that, that's okay too. But I do suggest you read the manga because it is the word of Toriyama. It's their original intended story. But the reason why I bring that up is because the idea of Goku surpassing his limitations is a recurring theme we've seen in Dragon Ball time and time again. If you really forget about Dragon Ball Super and Dragon Ball Z and just focus on Dragon Ball with Goku as a child growing up to be a man, by the end of that series, you would think, if you ignore everything else, you would think that Goku has hit the absolute peak of power during his fight with Piccolo. Goku barely survived that fight, but he made it. He discovered how to fly. He flew off with his wife, and that was the end of the Dragon Ball portion of the story. And then, of course, with the Dragon Ball Z portion, that's when we met Gohan and, of course, Goku's brother. And then Goku would go on to have battles with aliens and demons and androids and all kinds of different characters around the Dragon Ball world. But now with Dragon Ball Super coming back, we've seen Goku, starting with the Battle of God story, achieve new levels of power based on, well, God Ki. It's all been about becoming a god or surpassing a god. One of the big themes in Dragon Ball Super that's been told to us time and time again is the constant struggle between mortals and gods. It was talked about in the Battle of Gods arc. It was talked about with Zamasu in the Future Trunks arc. There's always a little bit of a push and pull there ever since Beerus woke up. He met Goku. Goku would then achieve a level that he could not achieve by himself as a mortal, the God Super Saiyan powers. And of course, he would evolve that into the blue-haired form, and then he would upgrade that whenever he tapped into the Kaioken. And that's where Goku stands right now. Well, a lot of people have been focusing on the intro to Dragon Ball Super and his fight with Jiren, which is, of course, a teaser of what's to come. Goku tells Toppo that he wants to surpass his limitations because Goku knows that Toppo was already too much for him, already was a challenge, and he claims that Jiren is even stronger. So even though Goku has been acting a bit more careless lately as far as he doesn't seem to be too concerned, it's still one of those things where deep down inside you can tell that he wants to do the best that he possibly can because he knows that there's a lot at stake in this tournament, and he also knows that these guys coming in are out for his head. Goku is a marked man in this tournament. So no matter how you feel about Goku's character, you know that he's going to train because that's what Goku always does. He trains. Now, will Goku achieve a new transformation? Well, I always thought when I saw the intro to Dragon Ball Super, I just thought it was a advanced form of Kaioken. It looked like it was just him doing the God Kaioken at full power with some very impressive animation, but others are presuming, and there's already fan art out there of this, that Goku's going to have a new transformation that will surpass what he currently has in order to compete with the other universes. Now, while I do believe that there is a chance that this could happen, personally, as a fan of Dragon Ball, I'm not really rooting for it because I feel like the idea behind Goku getting yet another transformation is a little tiny bit too easy. Goku's always getting new forms, but the way it was done with Dragon Ball Z is that most of the time he earned the forms through years and years of training. Within this very small gap, the 10-year time skip in between the end of Buu and the end of Z, Goku's already learned 2 new forms plus the Kaioken. It almost seems to me that Dragon Ball, if they go with another form, is in some ways kind of repetitive. I don't like the idea personally, again, it's just my opinion, of Goku getting a new transformation this soon. But if we entertain that idea, if we look at that idea of Goku getting a new form, the question is, how will he get it and who will teach it to him if somebody even does? We know that the result of Goku training with Whis is what allowed him and Vegeta to unlock the blue-haired form, and we know that Goku and Vegeta themselves trained in the Room of Spirit and Time for 3 years before the Universe 6 tournament. You would think that within a 3-year span that Goku and Vegeta would have already unlocked every transformation they could possibly figure out, because nobody's ever been in the Room of Spirit and Time for 3 consecutive years. I mean, the fact that in the original manga it was stated that people can't really survive over a year because the door will close, I guess that was retconned, or maybe Dende built a new Room of Spirit and Time, a new time chamber. That could be the situation, but the point is nobody's ever been in there for 3 years. And Vegeta himself remarks that he and Goku are close to hitting their limits of power. Now, obviously, that was not correct because we saw a significantly more powerful Vegeta take on Goku Black in the Trunks arc. In fact, during that Trunks arc, every time that Vegeta and Goku Black squared off, Vegeta had multiplied his power. So the dude was getting stronger and stronger and stronger. The question is, if Goku is now going to get another transformation, is it one that he discovers by himself? Is it one that somebody else is going to teach him? And will it be Whis? Does Whis have even more knowledge than we previously thought? I mean, the guy can deliver a baby with his magic wand, so maybe he does have some kind of secret knowledge. But I just wonder if it's going to happen that way. How is it going to happen, and where is it going to come from? Now, another theory I've been seeing thrown out here lately is the fact that they believe that Goku's true power lies in his base form. They think the big twist is that all these different hair colors we're seeing is just really a, I guess, temporary power-up, and that at some point Goku's going to learn how to tap into his God power directly from his base. We were teased this a little tiny bit in Resurrection F when we were introduced to the Saiyan Beyond God form, which is God Ki inside of your base. Even though it's not thoroughly explained, and we didn't get too much of it in the Super Anime, it's in the F guidebook that you got when you went to the movie theater if you went to go see Resurrection F in Japan, which I'm sure most of you guys did not go see it in Japan because most of you guys don't live there. I also didn't get to go see it, but the book's on eBay if you want to check it out. Anyways, we find out about this Saiyan Beyond God form, and of course later on as the series progressed they kind of forgot about it and went more to the blue-haired form, and that kind of became the traditional fighting transformation. That became the form that Goku and Vegeta used to fight. But the idea of you tapping into your God Ki and having a limitless supply without needing to transform does make sense. I mean, Beerus can do it, so why couldn't Goku learn how to do it? Plus, I think what's going on is people are trying to tie it into the end of Dragon Ball Z. The end of Z, the final chapters of the manga where Goku meets Oob for the very first time, take place after Dragon Ball Super as of right now. So in that fight with Oob, Goku just fights in his base form. Now, you could obviously say that Goku was probably repressing his power, especially with all the different kinds of rivals that Goku's had in Dragon Ball Super. It makes sense that he be suppressing himself against the orphan Oob. But then again, other people are saying, well, no, that could be his true final form. It could just be his base. I actually like that idea a little bit more than the transformations. Look, I love transformations. They look cool and everything, but I don't want Dragon Ball Super to rely on transformations every arc. I feel like if it becomes one of those things where they're going to use transformations as a deus ex machina to get themselves out of a hole, I feel it's a little bit contrived unless they come out with some kind of new way, some kind of new method for Goku to have unlocked a new transformation, whether it be he discovers something, somebody shows him, or there's something more. In other words, I don't want Goku to discover a new transformation and surpass his limitations unless there's a good story behind it. That's all I'm asking for, is something creative that we haven't seen before. Just remember, when you talk about Goku surpassing his limits and telling Topo that, he's always going to say that. He's always said that. When he first learned the Kaioken, he was told, don't go beyond a double Kaioken. The dude went significantly beyond that several times. Goku has always been the guy to always take that risk and always push himself and always try to hit those limitations, break those limitations, so it should be no surprise to anybody that Goku's going to at least attempt to do it. The question is, will it be with a new transformation, or will it be with just a stronger Kaioken? Please feel free to join the discussion in the comments. Let me know, do you think Goku will get a new transformation? Do you think it's just a Kaioken? If you come up with a really creative idea for Goku's new transformation, I will pin that comment. I'm looking forward to seeing some ideas from you guys, because I'm going to be very honest, a lot of you guys who watch these videos and who are in the community, you guys come up with better ideas than even the writers in Super. And I'm totally being honest here. I've seen some pretty brilliant stuff down there. So let me know, down there what you think. And if you are new to the channel, remember to punch that subscribe button. Totally different kind of content here on Geekdom from the perspective of somebody like me who's watched this series and read it in several different languages for, damn, like over 20 years at this point. Thank you for your continued support, and check out these videos.